What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with a brand new top 10 for you guys today. And this one, guys, is a little bit different. So, guys, as you are aware, Genesis is literally right around the corner. So we decided to come up with a top 10 list video that pretty much describes and is us guessing at the sort of biomes and stuff like that Genesis is gonna have. Now, for this very reason, we've decided to put this list together on dinosaurs that you should bring to Genesis. Now, obviously, they're not going to have transfers open straight away for the official servers, but if you guys are on like your own private servers, if you're on single player, then you can bring a lot of these dinos over to you as long as like transfers are open and stuff like that. We have our own PvP servers that will have Genesis open. So if you guys do want to jump onto PS4 and play on the servers, the link will be in the Discord. So jump into the Discord and it'll all be there. But guys, without further ado, let's jump straight into the video and kick it off with number 10. So guys, coming in at number 10, we have the Anky. Now, we have no idea what actual dinosaurs are going to be on Genesis. But as it stands, the Anky is one of the most, not versatile, but needed dinosaurs due to his metal harvesting ability. Plus, he is a herbivore, so he can also gather berries, and he is a pretty formidable fighter. Mind you, this guy does not move that fast in Ark, but this guy definitely is able to do the job of metal harvesting and flint harvesting, even stone harvesting to an extent. Although you probably will want a Doedicurus, but this guy is definitely great. He will be able to put up fights against any sort of large predators like the Bloodstalker, the new space whales, if you can even fight them. I would even say the Ferox, which is the mutant rabbit thing that gets like a 10-pack when he gets angry. This guy will probably be able to handle him, I'm hoping. But yeah, the Anky is definitely up there with one of the dinos you should be bringing. Although I will say he will probably be on the new map. But if you've got yourselves an imprinted one or anything like that, you definitely should bring these guys over with you to Genesis. So guys, also if you find yourselves enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more as well. It really does help out the channel. But without further ado, let's move on to number 9. Alrighty guys, now coming in at number 9, we have the Iguanodon. Now, the Iguanodon is probably one of my favorite sort of early game mounts to get because he's really useful for traversing the map. You can see he's pretty fast. He hasn't been leveled up, this guy here that we're running on. He hasn't been leveled up at all. And he does not use stamina at all while running on all 4 legs, while being quadruped. So you can see there in the top right hand corner, no stamina is being used while riding this guy. And he can jump, he can do all that sort of stuff. Now, obviously, if you want to switch him over to bipedal mode, he will be able to attack, harvest berries, and all that sort of stuff. But if you mainly use this guy for traveling, you can just take him out and explore the entire map of Genesis on the back of one of these guys. They're fast, they're, like I said, don't run out of stamina. So if you are trying to get away from enemy players while on a PvP server, you can utilize one of these guys because if they're on like a Pteranodon or anything like that, they won't be able to keep up with you because unlike them, you won't run out of stamina. So I definitely recommend taking an Iguanodon over with you if you guys have access to one, especially if you've got like bred ones and stuff like that, and you've got their movement speed pumped up because these guys can really move when their movement speed is leveled up a little bit and they're all on all 4s. Trust me, it is definitely worth taking one of these guys over with you. But guys, without further ado, let's move on to number 8. Now guys, coming in at number 8, we have the Baryonyx. The Baryonyx, in my opinion, is sort of an upgraded Iguanodon, minus the unlimited stamina. So the Baryonyx is both terrestrial and aquatic. He can swim really good. He can also run on land really good. He also gets a healing buff when he consumes fish meat. So if you keep this guy constantly packed with fish meat, he'll pretty much be able to go up against anything and regenerate at a really good pace. Now, the reason why the Baryonyx is on this list is because you can take this guy into the ocean, you can take him into rivers, you can take him into swamps, and it has been not hinted but confirmed that there is a bog biome on the new Genesis map, which is obviously going to be like a sort of upgraded marshland where it's going to be like probably nighttime all the time and like even more water, I would say, than like your standard swamp biomes that we've already got. And the Baryonyx is perfect for that. He's got the stun ability that you can use in water. He can attack on land and he can attack in water. And like I said, he also has that that buff where if he consumes fish meat, he does heal at a very rapid pace. So it's definitely worth bringing one of these guys along. And they're fast. They've got good stamina. They can jump. they can traverse the terrain pretty good. Not as good as the Iguanodon, because obviously they don't have that maximum stamina usage, but these guys are just as good. So I definitely recommend bringing along the Baryonyx, as there's going to be quite a lot of water on the new map, both outside of the ocean and in the ocean. So I definitely recommend bringing a Baryonyx. So guys, let's move on to number 7. So guys, coming in at number 7, we have the Sarco. Now, once again, in my opinion, the Sarco is kind of an upgraded version of the Baryonyx. He's much faster in the water than the Baryonyx. You're probably just saying to yourself right now, but wait a second, CJ, that Baryonyx was absolutely flying all over the place. Yeah, that's because the speed is slightly bugged on my single player worlds. But the Sarco is definitely faster than the Baryonyx in the water. On land, it's a slightly different story. They're probably about the same average speed, I would say. But the Sarco can definitely swim a lot faster than the Baryonyx. And in my opinion, the Sarcos are slightly more tankier than the Baryonyxes. These guys do have a little bit more health, a little bit more stamina, a little bit more weight as well, which is a really big one. Especially if you're like traveling around the map and whatnot on the back of one of these guys. And like I said, there will be the bog biome, there will be the ocean. So you definitely can take the Sarco into the ocean and go up against some of the larger sort of prey that you can find down here. As well as that, these guys do not utilize stamina in the ocean if you don't sprint with them. So that's really handy to have as well, and you can definitely utilize these guys to pretty much kill everything in the ocean. I mean, I probably wouldn't take this guy up against a Mosasaur or the new underwater boss, but that's just me. So guys, let's move on to number 6. So guys, coming in at number 6, we have the Dire Bear. Now, the Dire Bear is going to be great for the new map as well, because obviously he is one of the big hitters, in my opinion, in Ark. Like, he is a big, chunky boy, and he will definitely do the job to any T-Rex that comes his way. As well as that, he's really good in the snow biome, as he does provide you, the player, with hypothermal and hypothermal insulation. So that protects you from the heat and the cold, which is really good. You can see here, wrong one. You can see here we've got 73 hypothermal insulation and 182 hyperthermal insulation. We jump off this big boy, we run away, watch how much it drops. It drops by about 40. So you can see we've now got 34 there and 146 there. So these guys are really good at keeping you warm and protecting you in the snow biome. And these guys pack punches and kill pretty much anything they can come up against. As well as that, they do get the speed buff, where if they run for a certain amount of time, they will stay at that maximum speed and continue sprinting at that. You can see here our big boy Dire Bear, he's charging up. He's getting ready to go. And this is actually normal speed. So this hasn't been boosted or anything like that. This is how fast he runs without any levels in movement speed. So he's definitely worth investing in, especially if you've got like imprinted ones and stuff like that you've bred for stats. As well as that, like I said, they do pack a punch. They've got incredible weight. So you can see they're 1,000 weight on this big chunky boy. So they can definitely ferry a lot of the resources across the map if you want to try and move your base, or you just want to explore for base setup and you want to bring all your stuff with you. These guys can definitely carry it all with them. And like I said, they're just mean, clean, biting machines. They're able to harvest meat, hide, berries, you name it. They can do everything, which is why the Dire Bears are number 6 on this list. So guys, let's move on to number 5. Now guys, coming in at number 5, we have the Wooly Rhino. Now, these guys are absolute beasts. They're sort of, in terms of damage and strength, a stronger version of the Dire Bear. However, in terms of utility, they aren't as good. However, the main reason I put them up here was for that extra damage, because this charge attack can deal huge amounts of damage. So guys, the Wooly Rhino is really good because, well, obviously he's found in the snow biome. He's got a similar sort of mechanic where he's got like the rage meter on the right side. Once he gets going, that will stay full, and he can pretty much plow through any sort of terrain except for like boulders. This guy can just rocket through everything except obviously boulders, and he's got plenty of carry weight, so you can easily use him to ferry resources across the map. He's got slightly more than the Dire Bear. He does have slightly less stamina though. That can be fixed because it does make up for it with obviously his huge melee damage potential and his movement speed potential. So I would definitely recommend getting a Wooly Rhino, and you guys should have plenty of these imprinted and whatnot, because these guys are really good for PvP, for pissing off gigas and knocking riders off the back of gigas and whatnot. Like, you can see the amount of damage we are doing to these poor little penguins. So I would definitely recommend bringing your Wooly Rhinos across to the Genesis map, because these guys will be really good for dealing with any sort of hostiles in the snow biomes or any other biomes. So yeah, I'd heavily recommend bringing the Wooly Rhinos, guys, but let's move on to number 4. Alrighty, guys, coming in number 4, we have the Karkinos, the big old crabby boy, Mr. Krabs himself. This big guy, he is just too versatile to leave off this list. He's great. He can jump, he can hit really damn hard. He can pick up a lot of the smaller base dinos, Karnos, Stegos, not Trikes, but Parasaurs, Turtles, a lot of Ankies even, Doedicurus's, which makes farming a heck of a lot easier. And well, on Genesis, you will be wanting to farm straight away to get your base up and running as fast as possible, obviously. So bring one of these guys along and you'll easily be able to deal with pretty much anything on the map as far as I'm aware. You can also take these guys into the ocean and they will be able to pose a threat to anything you face down there, and they can also get pretty quickly underwater as well. As well as that, once you're wanting to get out, you can actually just hop up until you reach the surface of the water with these guys. So they've got the little jumping animation that you can use, and that is pretty much how you surface underwater. So these guys are really good. They've got plenty of weight, so you can ferry a lot of your resources, a lot of your dinos. They can also lob dinos across the map. So if you want to throw some of your Stegos to your base location, some of your Parasaurs, some of your Turtles, you can easily use these guys to do so. Look at this poor little unsuspecting Dillo right here. Let's give him a little bit of a crabby hug. And we're going to launch this guy into the sky. Yeet! And yeah, there goes Mr. Dillo. He's out of there. He's going to go out of render distance in just a second. And oh, he's still in there. That's surprising. So yeah, crabs are definitely worth bringing to Genesis if you've got them available to you. But yeah, guys, let's move on to number 3. Alrighty, guys, coming in at number 3, we have the big old mighty Allosaurus. Now, this guy is great. He's a lean, mean, fast killing machine. He will easily be able to do the job against any sort of large threats. You've got Rexes, Spinos, the Ferox, any of those new dudes, the Whale. Who else is there? You've got the Bloodstalker? Is that what it's called? The Bloodstalker? I think that's right. You've got the Blade Wasp. You've got all that sort of stuff. The Allo will definitely be able to deal with it. Now, that's by himself. In a pack of 3, these guys get the buff that enables them to deal more damage and do the bleeding effect, which does a percentage-based health damage over time. So let's get some of these big boys in, and they're not too hard to tame up. You obviously just have to separate them, and you guys should have plenty of these if you do use them on your other servers. So you'll be looking at doing plenty of damage and killing anything and everything that gets in your way. So I definitely recommend bringing yourselves some Allos with you, because these guys will mutilate and destroy anything in their path on the new Genesis map. So guys, let's move on to number 2. Alrighty, guys, and coming in at number 2, we have the Rock Drake. Now, this big boy, like I said, not everything will be transferable on day 1, especially if you play on official servers. But if you play on your own server, the Rock Drake is a great way to get around any map. He's got the gliding ability. It's technically not flying, but it makes him faster than any other flyer in the game, in my opinion. A lot of people may disagree with me. That's fine. That's why opinions exist for. But you can see here, this guy is able to soar through the skies at a very impressive rate. And if you do need to take a little bit of a pit stop, a little bit of a wee break, you can easily shot put yourself onto the walls and launch yourself back off from there. It's really great. I do love the Rock Drake for exploring. He's easily able to deal with any sort of threats he faces as well. You know, he's not the strongest dinosaur, but I mean, technically not dinosaur, but he is able to do the job against all of the larger sort of threats. I definitely recommend bringing this guy, especially for exploring pretty much the entire map of Genesis. As well as that, he is a relatively decent swimmer in terms of all the other dudes that have been on this list. Obviously, he pales in comparison to, say, the Sarco and the Baryonyx and the Crab, obviously. But if you want to try and get a sort of versatile mount that's good for all sort of terrains, the Rock Drake is your go-to guy. I would definitely recommend bringing him along to the Genesis map just to get a feel for the whole map. And yeah, it definitely would be worth it. So guys, let's move on and find out what's at number 1. Alrighty guys, and coming in at number 1, we have the Argentavis. This guy is the MVP in my books. He is such a great versatile mount. He can dish out the damage, he can ferry dinos, he can carry crap tons of weight. You name it, the RG can do it. He's great at ferrying your Ankies, he's great at harvesting any sort of resources with another dino. Due to him having the weight reduction effect in his inventory, you can use him as a portable smithy, which for starting out is wonderful because you can pretty much prefab a stone base in the back of this guy with all the stone and everything else that you get. As well as that, you can also prefab a metal base in the back of this guy if you want to spruce things up a little bit. You can see there, all that is craftable from the good old RG's inventory, so I would recommend doing that. You can see plenty of stuff to craft. He does reduce the weight. He's got plenty of weight to begin with. He also has plenty of stamina. He doesn't fly very fast, but he can fly not permanently, but for very long durations. And you guys should have plenty of imprinted RGs on your other servers and your other maps that'll have the boosted weight, the boosted stamina, you name it. These guys will be able to do everything for you on the new Genesis map, except obviously fly in caves, unless you've got that setting turned off on the particular servers you play on. But yeah, I would definitely recommend breeding your RGs up. You've still got about a day before Genesis drops to breed and imprint on any RGs, but the RG definitely takes the cake for me. It was a very close situation between the RG and the Rock Drake, but in the end, the RG did come out on top due to it being a lot easier to get, a lot easier to breed and raise and stuff like that, and just their usefulness kind of outshined the Rock Drake for me. So that's why the RG comes in at number 1. As well as that, he's also got the regen buff effect as well that you get when you consume corpses. So definitely worth investing in the RG. But guys, that is going to wrap up today's video for you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe down below for more. Also, don't forget to check out Genesis. It should be dropping in the next 24 hours, hopefully, if they don't delay it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the dinos that were on this list. Let me know if you'd make any changes. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe down below for more. But I will catch you in the next one. I got this soda.